A large number of parents often ask, why can't my child concentrate on his homework, right? Every time they ask me this question, my first reaction is to ask if there is anyone in your family who shouts, quarrels, or often gets mad. There are almost no exceptions. Every time they will say, oh, our voices are a little louder. Sometimes his grandmother will shout or someone else will shout. There is someone in the family who suddenly explodes and likes to shout. Or if your child is someone who likes to solve problems by quarreling, he or she will definitely not be able to concentrate. Because he spends a lot of energy every day observing the emotions of adults, being careful about something. Suddenly, a thunderclap sounded, which is what we call the characteristics of people affected by BPD. What are the characteristics of this behavior pattern of BPD patients? The first is that he can make you take advantage of a situation where you are bound to lose. If you quarrel with a person with borderline personality disorder, you will lose anyway. For example, let's say the two of you are unhappy outside today, and you don't talk after you get home. You say, forget it, let's keep quiet today. If you don't talk, he will ask you why you don't talk. You don't care about me. Such a big thing happened, and you pretend it didn't happen. You see, not talking won't work. Then you come back to discuss it with him, and it doesn't matter whether you speak loudly or softly. No matter how you react, he can put you in a losing situation. Because in any case, it proves that you don't love me, and in any case, it proves that you want to leave me. If you didn't want to leave me, you wouldn't do this. Because what he is most worried about is that you leave him. This is his core point. He wants to keep you. They don't believe you can stay, which is the first characteristic of the behavior pattern of borderline personality disorder. The second is that they have the fear of being abandoned and the fear of being swallowed up. On the one hand, he really wants to be with you, and on the other hand, he really wants you to care about him and love him. But if we get really close, he will feel that I have no self, no personality, and I become your appendage. You see, it is not good to be close, and it is not good to be far. It is difficult for people who get along with him to find the right balance. Then the third behavioral characteristic is that he really likes to test your love and likes to look at you in black and white. You either love me completely or you don't love me at all. There is no such a suitable and natural space in the middle. At the same time, such adults still have a childish worldview. The author set up a community online which is to put all those who have been hurt by borderline personality disorder, including patients and their families, in one community. Unexpectedly, thousands of people joined this community. Many people were confused and said that they finally found the reason. After a long time, I fell on this issue. Later, someone described what it felt like. Living with a person with borderline personality disorder is like living with a pressure cooker and a washing machine at the same time. It's like a pressure cooker that makes you feel like you're under tremendous pressure and that you might explode at any time, and a washing machine that makes you dizzy and keeps spinning. It's a combination of a pressure cooker and a washing machine. So people who live with borderline personality disorder for a long time will experience inferiority, self-doubt, fatigue, a sense of worthlessness, and an inability to concentrate. How should we deal with it other than black and white? It's that people are easily influenced by the black and white way of thinking of people with borderline personality disorder, thinking that they only have two choices, stay or leave. But in fact, there are many other choices. Well, whenever a person with borderline personality disorder violates your boundaries, you can leave temporarily. You see, leaving temporarily is a gray area, right? For example, you can leave this intimate relationship for a few days, weeks, or months. And then you can also learn to ignore the behavior of the borderline personality. Ignoring means that after this kind of thing happens, there is no reaction here, and I have no reaction at all. The third is to maintain an intimate relationship, but live separately. We will not divorce, but we can live separately. Then reduce the intimacy a little. This is also a way that is you don't need to stick so closely. Reduce the intimacy a little and reduce the time you spend with the borderline personality. Then cultivate your own interests, make friends, and engage in meaningful activities to achieve balance in life. Then tell the person with borderline personality disorder that you will only maintain this intimate relationship if he is willing to cooperate with the doctor's treatment or make clear changes. This means that the person with borderline personality disorder must abide by the promises he made. In other words, if they break their promises, you can choose to leave. Postpone making a decision until you feel relaxed and comfortable, and then postpone making a decision. You can talk to a psychologist first to solve some of your own problems and then make a decision. The last thing mentioned in this book is a training method that is helpful to people with borderline personality disorder and their relatives. It is an old topic. What we are all familiar with is mindfulness. If you can practice mindfulness, pay attention to your breathing every day, stay in the present, and experience this state of mindfulness here and now, it will help both parties to regulate their emotions. In short, the biggest characteristic is that they are extreme. They are always wavering between insecurity and extreme grasping. They cannot control their emotions well and are in a moderate state. Once they feel threatened, they will explode. So if you still love him, if you still hope to continue to live a good life with him, first of all, protect yourself, right? Make your life better, then find a way to improve your communication methods, influence him through good communication methods, and finally lead him to change slowly.